Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you love to watch more cheating stories. She cheated on me from the jump. I'm going to be upfront, I'm youngish at 23 and I'm in college currently, and my partner was in grad school, but the relationship was serious and it had been 14 months long, and we had been talking about maybe getting married when I graduated, which was supposed to be December. I flunked because of this, and while the school cleared my record, it's now 9 weeks from today. We had this plan basically of get hitched, then when she graduated a year after, if I had the money, we would go to Brussels as a honeymoon and go from there, about maybe starting our family. If any of that is a too dicey on rule 1, I'm sorry, but I am genuinely not trying to break rules. To me it is a serious, long-term relationship, hence why I feel it fits here. I have been keeping quiet about this because I was frankly embarrassed it happened to me. I was cheated on in the past when younger, but I never felt this pathetic. Me and my partner met in early September 2020 and I thought we had something really good. We were scarily alike and everything seemed really perfect and well behaved. I had some moments of alarm here or there, as she would had a few guy friends she took trips with overnight, but I convinced myself I was paranoid. We had talked about a month in on if we were exclusive and committed, and the answer was yes, so I was going to trust her. Things started coming to a head in early October, but it's a slow train wreck. She started talking about this 30-year-old failed UFC fighter who was like a brother to her and mentioned a few times he has abs. I told her I wasn't okay with this and I wanted to meet him. She said yeah sure, you two get along great, and I left it. Week later there was a discussion and I made a joke that the only reason she dates me is because I can carry out her furniture. She then comes out of left field and says, well, UFC guy can do it and he can take out my couch too after he breaks it, pounding me into it. I stopped and said WTF and said that was not okay. She tried to say my joke was worse, but I was seriously hurt and asked her point blank if she had been cheating. She said, first, that's none of your business, and second, you know I would never. I should have fucking called it right fucking there, but I convinced myself I was stupid. Fast forward, and one night out of the blue and she buys me these really expensive boots. She had no reason, she said, but she said I looked happy and that was important, but it was also like $200 boots, and she lives off of $800 a month for rent and food and is debt spending beyond that. That night she calls me and says she needs me bad and she was coming to grab me. We were going to spend a week together in her apartment and play house. I was a bit apprehensive as I had work the next day and I can't get to work from her place easily, but she insisted she would pay for a Uber or something. I agreed and made the arrangements to cover for me being MIA for the week. I get there, we watched Beetlejuice and went to bed. Next morning I woke up early and snuck out to get us donuts and came back, and when she woke up she suddenly had a million things to do. It was a hectic day and I realized at the end of it I would need to do school work while I was over at her place, so I asked if it was okay to use her laptop and she said sure and gave me the password. At 6 I went to work and around 10 I came back to an empty apartment with a note she had of emergency with her grandma and would be back soon and to watch her dog. I said sure and took a bath, then went to use her computer, and then I saw the messages. She had her messages displayed on her fucking computer and the last message was her texting, UFC guy, I can't wait to taste you tonight. I was sick and shaking and I called her and demanded an explanation. She was mad and wanted to know why I was in her messages, and I pointed out she left them up. She then admitted it, she was with UFC guy down south and they had plans for the next 5 days. I wanted to leave and she said sure, but that I would kill her dog and leave her apartment to be robbed. I broke and stayed like a fool and ended up having a series of panic attacks, and my world basically became feeding and taking care of that dog, then chugging NyQuil to put myself to sleep. She came home and sat me down and said she loved me but she wasn't attracted to me and she had been seeing the UFC guy for 2 weeks and that was it, she swore. I was livid and gave her back her fucking guilt boots and left. 2 days later she came back apologizing, saying she wanted to make it right. I decided to try and forgive, but she would keep calling me late at night in this breathless voice, and so happy it made me sick because I knew she was cheating but didn't accuse her. Then one night she called me her soulmate and all that, then literally said, "Ah shit, I have to go, he is coming down the steps now." Bye. I knew what was happening and I was fucking done. I walked away and I told her to go fuck herself and that I hated her. That was November 9th, the day after my birthday. I was in a bad place and started drinking again and did some other bad things to myself, almost died because of it, but I recovered kinda and wasn't actively messing my stuff up. I changed a lot, I shaved my head, lost 20 pounds in 3 weeks and have since lost another 60, I stopped seeing people socially and still haven't since it happened, with 3 exceptions with my best friend. Then in December she came back again. She admitted she was a monster and wanted to fix things. I told her I fucking hated her and I didn't want to see her, but then she threatened to hurt herself, so I broke and allowed her to take me over to her apartment. I held her while she just cried relentlessly, saying she was monster and how no one but me ever loved her and blah blah blah. I grit my teeth and I made a deal. I'd try to forgive, but there was going to be rules and that she was on thin ice. We literally spent a full day and a half with only a 6-hour break to sleep negotiating the contract she insisted on keeping on her Google Drive and a point system for her infractions because she didn't trust me to not walk away for no reason. We spent a Christmas together watching movies and decorating a tree. Then during that she broke down again and came clean. Apparently the entire time we were together she was always seeing other men, and to top it off, her abusive ex-boyfriend wasn't her ex until 2 months into our relationship. She kept insisting he was abusive, but honestly I doubt it. I looked into him after the fact, and it looks like she held all the cards and pushed him into the army to get rid of him so she could fuck around. I didn't want to hear anymore and told her to stop. That was behind us now, and while she lied I promised to try, so here we are. We ended that date, and the next morning she texted me saying she was sick but wanted to say she loved me and wanted to call me. I said alright, get some rest. Then around 6 I had a question about something in the contract. I swear on my life the wording was edited on one of our agreements about where we would meet, as I specifically made sure to say it had to be within an hour walking distance of my home, for my safety, but instead it was edited to 2 hours driving, which is ridiculous. She answered the phone and then I heard her yell, "It's nothing," then run and close a door. My gut sank and my immediate question became, "Where are you?" and her response sealed it. "I'll tell you, but you're not allowed to be mad." I bit my tongue and she then revealed she was at the UFC guy's place again. I went through the roof and just kept repeating, "Wow." She kept going, "You don't have a right to be mad," and saying we're just on his couch watching Game of Thrones and alternating between the two. I hung up on her and went for a walk. I walked over 20 miles that night just having an out-of-body experience, and I had to get picked up by my best friend who brought me home and sat with me. The fucking real kick in the teeth is that while walking that night I went to check the contract and she had deleted it. She also blocked me on Facebook and Venmo, and I'm going to guess she had the other guy block me on Facebook too, so I couldn't tell her. I've been numb really since, and it's been really hard recovering. I am forcing myself to talk just because sitting with this bottled up has been torture. I don't know what else to say really or why I'm here. I guess I just kinda want to know what now. It's been so hard and so lonely, honestly. My best friend checked in on January 20th and took me to visit my grandma last Monday, I think, but other than that I've been alone. I can't even talk to my friends or family about it just because of how painful and embarrassing it is. I just don't know anymore. Here are some of the best comments from our community. "It's not your fault. You shouldn't be embarrassed that a monster mistreated you. Your friends and family can give you comfort to move past the creature that wrecked you. If I were in your shoes I would be telling everyone that had the patience to listen. Venting to another person can be deeply therapeutic. Living a great life is the best revenge. If she ever comes back and threatens to hurt herself if you don't talk to her, ask her what failed UFC guy would do if she wasn't there for him to use. Don't bother waiting for the answer, just offer to call him for her. Hi out, the past is the past and you cannot change it. You are able only to change the future. So, learn from the past to get a better future. Don't take her back, never. She's a cheater and don't ever take a cheater back." Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell.